What's up, Amakhosi Network? Welcome to the channel. Kaizer just beat Stellenbosch 2-1 at the FNB Stadium. I am so happy about this game. This is what I'm talking about. This is what we need. I won't say this, the game wasn't perfect in terms of the Kaizer Chiefs and how Kaizer Chiefs played, but the one thing this game had was hard work. The players worked hard. It's something that I was in this, especially in the second half, because in the first half there's something I was not seeing from the players. They were just allowing the Stellenbosch players just to get the second ball because of lack of effort. But before we get into that, please like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe. 3 points in the bag. Apparently Chiefs is moving up to 5th position, which is a good start. And apparently Pirates is losing that other side against Cape Town City as well. Hey, life is interesting. But anyway, what I wanted to say is this: starting lineup. I was complaining. And my question was, where is Bradley Cross going? Nabi. The one thing I've learned about Nabi is that Nabi likes Bradley Cross. And I think I understand why he likes players like Bradley Cross and Yusuf Mat. The players like Bradley Cross and Yusuf Mat, they play with heart. They are not good players, but they play with heart. And that's why he likes this Bradley Cross boy. But I won't lie, Bradley Cross, ever since Ditloko has slipped into that left back position, there has been no need for Bradley Cross. Let's be honest with ourselves. Bradley Cross should not be in this game unless we're trying to waste time in the final minutes. That is the only time we should be seeing Bradley Cross. But no. Nabi decides he wants to play a game like 3-5-2 just so he can force Bradley Cross in the game because he likes Bradley Cross. But the thing is that Bradley Cross is a weakness. And when I say Bradley Cross is a weakness, whenever Bradley Cross is in the team, the left back position struggles with Bradley Cross being there. I don't know what Bradley Cross is. I don't know if he reads the game or he thinks he's a striker. I don't know what happens. But Bradley Cross, he leaves the left back. He leaves Ditloko exposed. And the first goal that we conceded against Stellenbosch did not create that goal. That goal was given to them by Bradley Cross because he was busy doing nonsense instead of clearing the ball because he knows he can't play. It was a tight position. We're not a team that can play from the back. Then at least clear the ball if you're unsure. But he's busy, love. And then when he's busy, we're making mistakes because of him. And so the one positive thing I'll say about Nabi in today's game is that Nabi replaced Bradley Cross very early in the game. Very early in the game. The other thing is that I want to give props to Nabi is playing Duba in his position. I hope Duba is not injured because this Duba that we saw today is the Duba we want to see. The one thing I've learned about Duba is that Duba is the kind of striker you just have to find the players around him who are going to just keep feeding him the ball because he makes the right runs, but it doesn't seem like his teammates find him. Every time he makes runs, his teammates don't find him. But one thing's for sure, I feel like Ranga can rest now. If Duba is not injured, Ranga can rest. Let's continue playing Duba as our striker. I think it solves one problem because Duba presses better than Ashley Dupree. Not presses better, but presses the same like Ashley Dupree. But creativity and his runs off the ball are good. And we saw today what finishing looks like. One quality header and one is fantastic shot on goal. Fantastic goal. Like that is a striker's goal. That is what we've been asking Duba to do. So props to Duba. The part I'm also going to challenge Nabi in is mad dot. Today people are going to go out there and they're going to blame Bashum Tet. They're going to Bashum Tet. And I don't blame people for doing this because what people are going to Bashum Tet for is for the fact that he loses the ball. It's for the fact that sometimes we find ourselves in a positive position, but he can't maybe make the perfect run, but he always finds himself in the most creative space. But I mentioned this in the other game. I mentioned it. I said the only reason why Umthetwa is getting exposed that he's not a creative player, etc., is because when they either play double pivot or when Matt just disappears in the game, what tends to happen is that Mthethwa is forced to be a creative midfielder. He's forced to participate in the creativity of the team. And the problem with that is that Mthethwa, it's not his game. Mthethwa is meant to receive the ball past the creative players and then go back to his position. Mthethwa today in the first half, when I kept seeing De Jong receiving those passes, all I was asking myself is, this double pivot is not working because Mthethwa should be cleaning anything that comes to De Jong. But because Mthethwa is playing double pivot and is forced to create, he finds himself too far from De Jong and the centre backs, and then it makes it difficult for him to cover. At some point, I was even saying, like, there's certain tweaks sometimes I just want Nabi to make. For example, at left back in the first half, Ditloko was getting tired of chasing down Devon Titus. So I was like, Nabi, why don't you give Ditloko some time to breathe by swapping Ditloko and Rushin Dudley? Rushin has the legs to keep up with Titus. I was at some point expecting these guys to help him because the cross thing failed, and when they remove cross and they put Abo Vilagazi, etc., and Abo Potsani, it helped, but the thing is that Potsani was playing too high up at times. And this is my biggest problem with Chiefs. My biggest problem. I don't know if it's a Nabi coaching thing or it's a player thing, but I think it also is the element of coaching. Our team needs to decide what they want to do. Are we going to be a team that has high intensity pressing in phases in the game? Or are we a team that is going to sit back? Because you cannot be in between the two. Why I'm saying that is because our team today failed to press the ball, but they were sitting high up the field. Then what happens is that they gave these chances to these midfielders like Abu Jabbar and stuff like that to get the ball and spray the ball to Titus and spray the ball to that other guy, or Litlock or something, I forgot, the other striker there. But that's my problem in the first half. And in the first 10 minutes, we didn't have this problem because our team was pressing in the right way. But after the first 10 minutes, we were starting to struggle with keeping up with that intensity. And we started dropping. Like our players up front who are meant to be pressing were no longer pressing, and especially pressing the midfielders, pressing the players. Because if Torre gets the ball or Moloi Sani gets the ball, I expect our striker, which is Duba, to at least just show himself good is running towards them, just to not get them to relax. Because that's where Stellenbosch wins. Stellenbosch wins when you give comfort to the defensive midfielders or the centre-backs. Because the centre-backs are smart. They draw you in. When you draw you in, they pump the ball behind you. They look for De Jong, and De Jong has one of the best first touches in the PSL. That guy's first touch is just something else. Like, De Jong is the kind of hold-up player one can dream of. And I remember watching him at Amazulu. I just had a problem with Guti. He doesn't score enough goals for me, especially if he's considered a striker. But if you don't consider De Jong a striker, his first touch, Baba, and his link-up play is just so amazing. But anyway, let me not get into that. But yeah, that's what I saw in today's game. But the big thing I will say in today's game is the fight in the second half. The fight in the second half was good. The fight for me in the second half was good, especially because it always felt like we're playing a man down. Because Matt was not in the game. Matt is the worst Kaizer Chiefs captain, I'm sure, in history. Matt was not in this game, but Nabi kept him because Nabi feels like Matt will add something to the game. You know what? Because we won, people are going to say, yes, Matt added something. But personally, I don't feel like Matt did anything in defense, and I don't think he did anything in attack. I just think he was a player. It felt like we were playing with 10 players on the field when Matt is there. Matt, today Ranga Chivavero contributed more in showing his presence, his strength, to the defenders and stuff than Matt did in the whole 90 minutes. I did not see Matt. And this is me. I'm going to speak for myself. You guys will let me know in the comments. Maybe you guys saw a different version of Matt. But Matt was either giving away the ball as he usually does, or he was not. He was late in defense. The person I saw the most in defense, I will not lie, is Mteto. That man works. You know, Ox works even though he almost he was supposed to get a red card actually. I think he was lucky he didn't get a red card because he kicked someone in the face. But for me, Ox works, guys. Like, the way he breaks down plays or puts pressures on these guys. Like about Jabbar and them, they look so comfortable on the ball. But it's the Mteto problem for them that they were struggling to solve. Because it's not like Mteto was getting the ball every time they had the ball. But it's the fact Guti was there that was destroying the play. Because Mteto was always finding a way to divert these guys from making the pass they want, and they ended up finding themselves going wide. And that's what a good thing I saw today about Mteto, even though he's been doing it in the other games. But I know a lot of people will bash him for his game going forward. Mdu Shabalala had an off game as well. We're not going to lie about that. Mdu Shabalala had an off game. He just, you know what, I feel for Mdu, because we cannot expect him to have a top quality performance in every game. But the one thing that is very important for you guys to see, which I've been mentioning for a lot of weeks, is, do you see what happens when there's someone else on the field to do the work that Mdu has to do in the game? Having Mfundo Vilakazi didn't have a great game, but having him there created the second goal. Mfundo Vilakazi has a long way to go, a very long way to go for us to consider him a good or even great player. Mfundo Vilakazi right now is hype. You, us as fans, hype him. He's a dribbling wizard, but Mfundo Vilakazi's decision making, his movement in the game is sometimes very questionable. Like, he moves in spaces and he has first touches that shouldn't be happening, especially because he knows how to shoot the ball. Like, every time he gets the ball, I expect him to open his body in a way where he can get a shot off. But he always receives the ball in a way that blocks him from creating space for himself. And it's very it does, I don't like it. It looks very uncomfortable. And I'm saying this because Duduzi Shabalala had the same problem, I think, in prior seasons. He would receive a ball in a position that doesn't allow him to do what he can do. But in the current season, Mdu has been opening his body up a bit more so he can cut in. That's why he's been cutting in so many times. He can just get the ball and run inside. And that's one thing I'm liking about Mdu's game. If there's one thing I like about Mdu's game today, is the fact that he kept cutting in and trying to run with the ball. And when he does that, it's just the decision making when that happens. It's like finding the cheese player in the best position. Because I think today that was our game. But yeah, guys, Chiefs had a very good win today. 3 points from Stellenbosch is not an easy feat. You know what, Nabi, I just pray Nabi gets players, because today's game showed me something, and something very important. It showed me that Nabi you can see what Nabi is trying to do. It's just that the quality players in the field are also tripping him up. The players, the decision-making of the players and everything. But I'm not going to excuse Nabi, because he's also starting players who shouldn't start. Like last game, he started Isaile, Dupree and Duba. Those three cannot start together because they're not thinkers on the ball. You cannot start those three together. They can't think on the ball. Especially if you're gonna play only Mdu as the creative player and then partner Mdu with Matt. It's like it's a disaster, because Matt cannot release a player. Mdu can, but it's just too much overload of work. Today, Nabi's mistake was starting Cross. Cross had no business being in this game, I have to be honest. And please can Dupree have a quick recovery. But let me say this to all Kaizer Chiefs fans. Guti, there's something I saw today in Nabi's game. It was not clean, it was not perfect, but the way the players dealt with certain smaller nyana position, the way the ball found itself to certain players, it was good. The only problem is those players who then receive the ball, what they decide to do then is a different story. Because in the moment where Cross got his chance, excellent play by Duba. In the moment where Duba scores his goal, excellent play by Mfundo Vilagazi and Duba. These are the smaller nyana moments that you can see what Nabi is trying to do with the players. But the problem is that he doesn't have the right players. But anyway, tomorrow I'm going to continue with another video. Amakhosi for life. Well done for the win.